Well, hello, my darlings. Back with you with the basic Monet that we made together. So the basic Monet, some bits of paper, some glue, some scissors, and we'll start adding some really simple tuck spots and places where ephemera can start getting filled in here. So keep watching, my darlings. Back in a tick. Well, hello, my darlings. Back here with my basic Monet. So I've done the first video for the basic Monet of just how to stitch in your simple 3-signature book. So I'll put the camera on now, have a little bit of a play and a chat, and I've got gathered up some bits and pieces. Got scissors, I got some ink and my glue. So let's just start sticking pockets in and see what happens. So, yeah, a lot of these have come from Jez's kits. It doesn't have to be kit papers. It doesn't have to be digital papers. You can use any paper you want. Literally any paper you want. It doesn't matter. Whatever strikes your fancy, just do it. Now, in a lot of the digital kits, you have these. And I think they're called gussets, but I'm not positive. But all that does is when they're folded up on the inside, it gives you a little bit more space on the inside of your pocket to slide things in and out. You don't have to do that. You can just simply take a rectangle and glue it down on 3 sides, whatever 3 sides you want. It just means what fits in the pocket will be a tiny bit smaller than if they've got these. But I've left these on because they came in the kit. So let's get this one inked and just find a place to get it in the book. So no, sorry I've been absent for a little tick. I managed to cut the tips of 2 of my fingers making spaghetti bolognese. I had to wait for them to heal a bit. I haven't been able to do anything. When you get that cut right on the tip of your finger and it just throbs and throbs. But I've been off doing a few little side quests as well for an upcoming swap. So, and I didn't want to film those because I don't want the person who ends up with it to see it. So, right, let's have a look. Where can we stick this first one? Now, Jess has got some right hand and left hand. So just find a place. It doesn't matter. Glue something in. You can always go back and add extra embellishment bits around where you decide to add the pockets. Now, I like that one there. And that's it, really. I mean, you just got to decide what you want, what size pocket you want. And if junk journaling is new to you, you just run with it. Don't try to overthink it. Just cut your papers down to what's appealing to you. And as Natasha says over at Treasure Books, glue it down. Best advice ever. Just do it. It's only paper at the end of the day. If you don't like it, you can peel it off and glue something else on there. So I'm going to pop that one in there. And that's one of the reasons I think why you see so many, artists, junk journal artists that use art glitter glue is the fact that it bonds so fast to the paper. So the glue isn't cured by any means, but that is not going anywhere now. So let's have a look at there's 2, yeah, why don't we coordinate those? Put them together. That'll work, won't it? Now I've already folded those and inked those. Let's just get them glued on. So now I've been off doing a list of side projects, which left my tidy craft room in an insane mess again. So I had to go through a process of putting everything away. I've had craft club over the weekend. And no, I did do a sort of trial run with a friend on sort of how do you show a beginner how to do the basic binding techniques, and that went really well. There's sort of a lot of food for thought there on how you would introduce that to like a room full of people if you wanted to do it as a class. So I've had a bit of food for thought for that. And what types of materials and tools would be needed. So again, I'm not thinking too much about it. I'm just sticking these on. And the thing with the digital kits is you can just reprint them as many times as you want. So no, happy with that. What else have we got over here? I've got 3 more of those. I'll come back to those. Those are exactly the same. It's just that's at the opposite angle to that one. I wonder if these match one of those center spreads. Let's have a look. That one could go on that one. I know you probably can't see that washed out design from where you're at. What's on the next one? The boat. Yes, I'll do it on this one, because you've got the boat image on that one. Hold on. I'm being called. 2 secs. Alright, sorry about that. Let's see. Oh, I didn't put the pen in the glue. Pen in the glue, Faith. Honestly, art is alright. I have been looking at a new thing called a precision glue press. A couple of the people in club with me use them, and I'm intrigued. But they're not cheap. And I'm not sure if art will be okay in the holder that it comes with. So anybody out there use one of those precision glue presses? It's like a gun that's got a bottle in it. You fill it with your own glue. So I'm intrigued to buy them after watching some others play with it, but we'll see. It's not like this is too bad on the hands, squeezing. But yeah, get your papers out, start gluing stuff down, making lots of pockets and enclosures. Might have a go at a couple of flips or tucks. Not really sure what you would consider a tuck and a flip. To me, a tuck is only glued on 2 sides. Or perhaps it's very narrow on the edge of something. But we'll try a few different things here and see. I did get one of the washed out collage pages here, and we'll do a little bit of a flip out somewhere. And you just do what you want. I prefer to make all of my, most of my pockets and spread them around in the book before I start filling them. And I jump around the book a lot because it helps me, as you go along, it helps you to judge how thick your book is getting, you know? So here's one. Now that was just a plain piece of washed out collage paper from Jess's kit. I folded it in half. I have given it a bit of trim there, and that's to give it a little breathing room. So I've folded that way, folded it that way. I then snipped that and then folded that up. If that makes sense. Let's try it again. So there's my collage page. Flip it over. Fold that bit up as one whole piece. Folded that one over. Snipped that off so that it opens back out. So now I have a full size on that size. On that side. And the idea is this. So if I go into my center signature here somewhere, let's go on, say, one of these pages. And I've done this to be that way. So I want it on a page like that. So that will be a flip out on that page with 2 pockets. And then the other side will be the full length. Or I could just chop that off. Actually, I think I will just chop that off. Yes, chop it off. So, scissors out. That won't go to waste. I'll use that for something else. So now I've got 2 pockets here, and that will be a pocket on the other side of the page. Yes? So that'll be a pocket on this side of the page, and that will be a flip out with space underneath. So let's get this inked up and glued down. So honestly, any way you can think of to sort of fold paper and get in there and create interactive elements. And there are hundreds of ways of doing this. If you're interested as well, if you look in my playlists, I've got a playlist called The Great Ugly. It's my Great Ugly idea book. And I've done lots and lots of different versions of these. Now, I don't need to ink that because that's going down on the other side of the page. I've done the bottom, have I? Yes. So, but that side of this one will need inking. And you can go in and make punches in the corners if you want. It depends on what you've got. But if you're a beginner, you may not have anything like that. And again, just leave things straight. Leave them wonky. Go in with, you can use a hole punch to do corners as well. Or just your scissors and freehand the corners. Don't know if I want to round the corners on this or not. Let's get this last edge inked. And you don't have to have ink either. You don't have to have the distress ink. I started off with just your bargain 99p inks from the range. And that's how I started. So I'm going to leave that one square just to show. But I want to glue these up. So again, from that side up, and that side, just to secure that up. The middle doesn't need it because it's going to be folded. Yep. So I now have 2 pockets, one in there, one in there. That will fold in. So let's attach it to the page. Yeah, I want to go that side. Or do I want to go on that one? Yeah, I'll go on that one. So the only decision then you got to make is, do you want, how do I go on the music page? Put on the music. Where to put it? I'm going to center that one. I might leave it up the top. Balance some of that out. The only real next decision you got to make is what direction you want that pocket to be. Do I want that pocket to be top loading or side loading? And for this one, I'm going to leave it as a side loading. And before I think I will punch a little bit of a notch in there. Where'd that go? There it is. So, yeah, I want that to be a side loading. And because you want that side to swing freely, you want to glue your glue to be on this side. So I'm going to hold that down, get it in place. I hope I'm in camera. I think so. And then on the bottom, and then the 2 sides. So that when I fold it over, the bottom of this will glue to this side of the page. There we go. And this time, pen and the glue. Pen back in the glue. Because it does gum up sometimes. So that's down. Give it a good smooth with thumb. And there we go. I've got a swing out page then with 2 pockets. I can go back, pardon me, and ink some more if I want to. Have pockets to fill, the space here to fill, that flips back over. I could put more things on there if I want. And then there's a pocket there, and I've got room there to add more. So there's one in. Let's see what else I've got in here. Some of this, like, some of these images, I love that image. I love that image with the sunflowers on it. Let's find a page. Let's pick two of them. Let's say the sunflowers and that one maybe. That one. See if we can layer them up somehow. Not on the purple. Let's go on something. So if I want to do a layered pocket there, I can have that be a top loader and that be a bottom loader and layer them up. Let's just go for it. So inking, I might round the corners actually. So these little corner rounders, they're not expensive. I'm not going to put a big corner on them, only a little one. And these come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. And don't need to do the bottom of that one, just the top. Well, may as well. And ink them. Now, as you can see, that on that background sort of fades away. But once it's inked, this is why so many of us love doing the inking. And it can be in a dark color, it can be in a light color. This is vintage photo, and I've stuck with vintage photo because it lends itself to Jez's kit. But you could do this in black. You could do it in any color you wanted. But once you've got them inked, they sort of stand out against the background. And pop a little bit more. So if I pop that on there now, you can see how it's sort of stood out a little bit. But if I layer those up, I can come back afterwards and add embellishments on top. So yeah, let's go for it. So that's going down behind, so that's got to get glued in first. And I said top loading, didn't I? So top loading means it's going to have the two sides and the bottom glued. And again, this isn't, it's not fine art restoration. So honestly, don't be too slow and overthinking your gluing. Just glue stuff down. And that one's going to be a top loading, so that needs, and my tip is that I figure out what direction I want it, and I tend to hold my fingers on the side that I want open. So when I flip it over, I know I'm doing the right sides. And you just get in the habit of doing that, I think. But I could even go and see if I can find some French stamps and make some collages out of this as well. Lovely. Right, what time are we up to now? Let's see what else I pulled out here. It's more of those French documentations. A few of those other images. What else have I put in here? I'll come back to the greeting card. Now, I do have some envelopes in here, and Jez has got these really long tags that I think I'm either going to use them as tags or belly bands or cuts. I don't know. I'll do belly bands in another video, I think. But I do have two envelopes that are from like a Monet stationery kit that I found. This one is just like a Monet pattern. And then this one, I love. Check out the inside of this one. Isn't that gorgeous? The inside of that envelope is beautiful, isn't it? So I'm going to attach 2 of these and to make them as flips. Let's see here, that first page, maybe, and then that would flip out. Or do I want it on this side to flip out? Let's see here. No. Stay in the first signature if I can. Put on that tea dye paper. No, because I'm going to cover that up after. Let's see. Let's put it on the music paper. I'm going to put this one right smack in the middle. So that then flips out. Things can be hidden in there. Tags and things can be in there. And then this then can serve as a teeny tuck on the other side. Should we do a teeny tuck? So if I do a tiny tuck for going this way, let's ink this envelope, shall we? No, I'm going to leave it as it is. And let it sort of fade into the background a bit. Actually, I'm going to do it there. Yeah. So, again, I'm only doing 2 sides now. I want the side that's going to actually attach it to this page to allow it to freely move on the other side, and along that bottom side of the flap. So I've done that side and that side, and then get it onto this page. So you're taking my own advice now. Don't overthink it, just do it. You can always go back and ink afterwards. So I now have that sort of tuck in there that I can play with. And I've got room here to add more. And this then opens up for that side. So let's get this other envelope in here. Go towards the back. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Yeah. And again, on that one, I think I'm going to leave it in the same way. I'm going to leave it as a skinny tuck there and a full page flip out on that side. Oh, just do it. Don't overthink it. Just glue it down and do it. And honestly, just have fun, especially if you're a beginner and you're just starting out. Just do it. And the book will get fuller and fuller and fuller. And when you start adding stuff to these pockets, oh my word, does it fill up. What else have I brought out? Got a few more of those. Let's do one more of those. That one's a bit big. There's another one. Let's add one more in here. Just pick somewhere. Or have that up the top. And at the bottom. Overthinking again, aren't I? Yeah. Let's just leave this one as one here. I quite like that yellow up against that. And ink. So yes, darlings, just keep going and adding and adding and adding and adding. And for the next one, I might come back and then show you some different types of page spreads and flip outs, belly bands, that kind of thing. Sorry, I'm muttering now. I'm terrible for trying to talk and glue at the same time. Here we go. So, assuming that you don't have like all the laces and the trims and the hardware, this is just your basic book. Go in and just glue and glue and glue and glue. When I could go in and just, that needs a bit more embellishment. But you see what I mean? You just could keep going in and gluing and collaging things together. So, pin in the glue. What else have I got in this tray? Hold on, let me check the tray behind me. I'll be back just a tick. Right, my darlings, I found another one of the collage sheets, and see if we can get 3 bands cut out of this one. Turn my trouble away. So, what do I want my bands to be? Commonly referred to as belly bands. I want maybe 3 inches, which is about there. 3.5 inches, because I can go back and collage on top of these if I want. So let's get this one in there. That's 3 inches there. Yep. Let's do another 3 inches on that side. And say another 3 inches there. Yeah. So that goes back into my scrap. So I've got 3 bands there. And they just need inking, and then we'll glue them in. So, and check the height of them anyway. So a belly band is often what they're referred to. There's lots of different types of them, but this is the simplest sort of version. So you're allowing for a band that's going to let you put a full-size journaling card behind it. Give these a quick ink. And you know, you could cut things to size and sit in front of the telly and ink everything, and then go back and glue things in. But I tend to do things as I'm going along, especially if I'm trying to do things. I'm trying to prove a point here of like, you don't have to overthink it, just do it quick. And you don't have to ink. Lots of people, there are people out there that don't ink at all because they don't like it. But I've got 3 signatures and I got 3 bands. So let's find a place in the first one to put that first band. Quite like those dark colors. So I'm more or less the same size as the paper. That one's quite grungy, that page. Go with that one. And you're just gluing the top and the bottom. So give it a little bit of, I give it a little bit of extra on the top, a little bit of extra on the bottom, and then line it up where you want it. I want mine in the middle, and go for it. Now, I know some junk journalists use the double... Oops, don't move, stay put. Use double-sided tape, and I know other people say that double-sided tape is fine short-term, but it can go greasy over time. You may pull the journal out in like 2 years' time and find that it's, you know, made the paper greasy, but... or it's bled through. Is that stuck? Yeah. So that now is a space where I can put something much larger in to hold it in place like that. I'm not going to leave that in there. Make sure that dries. But then I can go back on top of this and add to that as well. So let's go to the second signature. And that works quite well, doesn't it? It's a little bit long. Where am I? That works. And just go on the top and the bottom. Do I want that one against that page or that one? That one. So again, don't overthink it, just do it. So if there's anything specific, especially if you're a beginner out there watching, and there's something specific you're not sure about, please leave me a comment. I'm not sure how many videos I will spend looking at the basic one, because I don't want to get all the bells and whistles and lots of things out to decorate. I want it to be sort of beginner friendly. So there we go. I'm going to leave that then, make sure it's bonded good. There we go. And then the last signature, let's find this other band a place to go. There. No, I quite like that. And stick it down. So I do hope you're enjoying it. I will be back then to look at the altered Monet. Now that I've got my room put back into shape, so I know where everything is now. Oh my word. It was like a tornado had gone through here, honestly. I've noticed art sometimes wants to slip when I'm going on to coffee dyed or tea dyed paper. So I'm trying to give it a little bit of persuasion. It doesn't take much persuasion. Art is normally good. It's sticking straight away. Let's get the pin and the glue. So just a few minutes of play in, and I have places where I can tuck things now. So let's have a look through. So I still want to get some sort of pocket on the front, on the inside cover. I may put something on the outside. I don't know yet. So, but even these smaller pages can have extra papers put on them. So I've got a belly band there. Those pockets there ready to be filled. But as you can see, there's still so much room in here to play. I've got that flip out envelope. A little tuck, baby tuck on that side. Belly band there. But then at this point, you can just start fill in all your tucks and pockets. You can make content to fill them, or you could carry on and make that flip out there made from an A4 piece of paper with the pocket on the other side. But again, if you fill the pockets and then just keep going, because you may find that you're not going to fill every side of every page because the book will end up being too full. So it's just a matter of getting stuck in and playing. So I quite like that. That's going to look lovely once it's embellished and some tags stuck in. So no, happy with that. Another belly band there. Quick, happy, and then that one in there. And something will go on the back. So that's all for me for this one. I will be back to play in this one again. And I will be back to play in my altered Monet soon as well. So I hope all of you out there are keeping well. And hope to see you back here soon. So, bye for now.